What is up, my guys, gals, and non-binary pals? I'm Rachel, and welcome to my channel. Today, what I'm doing for you is a wear test on the Beauty Bakerie Cake Mix Matte Foundation. Now, I've been wanting to try this for a while, and I've been searching around on like Ulta to see if it was available on their website or at Riley Rose. So it's kind of taken me a while to get my hands on this. However, it is only available on the Beauty Bakerie website as far as I have seen. So I had to do my shade matching online, and I think I got a pretty good shade. I am using the shade number 55. So let's dive in to trying this foundation. Gotta have my little cat ears on for a video. Now today's video is going to be both a first impressions and a wear test. I have not tried this at all yet. I have only taken it out of the package. And you can watch my my Beauty Bakerie haul video up there. I'll put that in the cards. So first up, I'm gonna prime with my usual primer, my Makeup Forever Step 1 primer in the hydrating version. Now before I get too far on my face base, I'm just going to give you a quick little state of my skin right now for, you know, the canvas that this foundation is going to be laying on. I think that's important to telling how a foundation is going to work. My skin right now is pretty dry and flaky. I've been using retinol on it. I think my skin is naturally dry, it just overproduces oil to try to make up for that. So right now it's not doing that overproducing oil, so it's been pretty flaky. And I have some major blemishes. You can probably see some red spots on my skin. I got like right here is a major one. I got one that just popped up overnight on my lip. Got one under my lip. What did I put on my lips to cause this? I don't know, nothing out of the ordinary as far as I know. Who knows? So I do have little blemishes all over my face, but a couple of major ones too. So that could be, you know, some obstacles that this foundation has to overcome. And we'll see how it performs. Next, I'm gonna do my nose and my eyelids with my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in the anti-aging formula. Okay, now it is time for the foundation itself. I'm going to be using my my foundation brush by Ace Beauty. I love this one. It is a new addition to my collection, and it's a beautiful. It creates a beautiful finish on my skin with my foundation without having to go over it with a beauty blender. Okay, let's see how this goes. I'm gonna squirt this right onto my brush. I haven't even like shade tested this to see if it's really my shade, so let's see how this goes. Okay, got some on my brush. So my very first application was actually pretty sheer, which I feel like this is a medium to full coverage, so I think I just need to add a little bit more to it. But it was kind of streaky with this brush. Now anything can be blended out with a beauty blender, at least on my skin. So I'm just gonna go over it again with another pump on my forehead. streaky and didn't put much down is because my brush absorbed a lot of it. So this is not a foundation to use this brush on, which nothing does not say anything bad about the foundation. I'm just going to switch my brush. I'm going to use my ColourPop flathead brush to apply my second layer. This is a medium to full coverage foundation, so my first layer went on as pretty medium coverage. I like more fuller coverage because I have so many spots on my face that need some help. So I'm just going to go in with another layer. Okay, I'm going to take my Beauty Blender and I'm going to spray some Fix Plus on it. And blend out. Because I think this... Ooh, that was a little too wet. I think this foundation is best applied with a sponge. Now Beauty Bakerie does sell their own sponges. They come in a pack of 6, I believe, for a pretty darn good price. I don't know that off the top of my head. Alright, I'm thinking this shade was maybe slightly too dark on me, but that just means that I can finally like get some color in the summer and have a foundation that'll match my skin. Okay, so the more problematic parts of my face are not agreeing with this foundation, which is not unusual for me. It doesn't mean that it's a bad foundation. It's just kind of clinging to my flakiness. And I think I effed it up on my forehead because my Beauty Blender still had a bit too much Fix Plus on it when I started dabbing on my forehead right away, and it like totally moved everything around. So I need to reapply to my forehead. This is not doing well on my skin, which is very disappointing because I love Beauty Bakerie so much. And it could just be because my skin just is having a field day with retinol. But they also suggest to prime using their Wake and Bake oil, which I am definitely, from what I'm seeing on my face in my mirror, I think that would probably really help a lot. Because there are just spots where it kind of moved around a little bit, and it helps to put another layer over those spots, but I shouldn't have to do that, you know what I mean? So in my T-zone, which is where I'm flaky, is throughout my T-zone, is where it's really struggling. So I would say if you have dry skin, this is not for you, unless you like really load up on the oils beforehand. And maybe once my natural oils start coming through, maybe that'll help. So I'm still gonna give this a shot throughout the day. I'm not gonna take it off because it's not doing well on my skin right away. And I'm also gonna try again with an oil and probably another day and see how that works. So next I'm gonna apply my concealer. I'm gonna use my Tarte Shape Tape. And I should say, like, not in my T-zone, like on my cheeks, it's looking very beautiful because my cheeks are not super dry. My cheeks are still have acne on them, but it's not my T-zone. And it did kind of collect around my eyebrows too, which is kind of annoying. You know what, I should take a photo of how this is looking on my face before I put too much concealer on. Okay, I'm kind of afraid to add concealer anywhere else on my face because under my eyes it actually moved around my foundation to put concealer on over it. So I'm not gonna put on any more concealer, but I'm gonna bake with my Beauty Bakerie Flour setting powder. This is something I have used already and I love this powder. It just looks so flawless. And I'm using the shade Translucent. Now I don't do like a full bake where, you know, people do like this much of their face and then all here and then all on their forehead. They're like baking like their entire face in like a thick coat of powder. I've never seen a difference from baking, so I don't do that. I just do a little mini bake. Let that sit under my eyes while I do my eyebrows. So I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in medium brown. Alright, eyebrows are done. I'm going to dust away that bake. Alright, and then I'm going to contour using my my Makeup Revolution Pro HD Powder Contour Palette. I use this shade here. Ooh. Right here. Alright, for blush I'm going to use my Juvia Place Sarafina blush. I use a stippling brush for my blush because I'm too pale to use a heavier hand with blush and it ends up just making me look sunburned. So I just use a stippling brush for just a little light wash of color. For highlight, I think I'm just going to blindly pick one of my little Becca minis. And without looking at what shades I'm grabbing, I'm going to grab one. Not one of those. I want a mini. What is this one over here? Okay, this one is Vanilla Quartz. Just a little guy. Which, I actually have a bigger pan of Vanilla Quartz. But if that's the one that I'm going to pick, I'm going to use my open one first. So I dropped mine, unfortunately, so this is very powdery and like loose in here. So I gotta be careful. I can't like open it up and show it to you, but it's like a white highlight with like a little tinge of gold. I don't know. It is the perfect shade for my skin tone. For fun, I'm gonna do some burgundy eyeliner, even though I'm like wearing blue. Look at this. I'm wearing long sleeves in June, in the middle of June. So I'm using my Tarteist Double Take eyeliner in Burgundy. Okay, with two of my shades for this Double Take eyeliner that I have black, brown, and burgundy. So for the brown and the burgundy, I've had a little bit of trouble with it when I first start using it. But if this one's like the brown one, after my first use, it works perfectly. Okay, and I'm going to use the crayon end on my waterline. Okay, and then I still have my Lancome Hypnose Drama mascara that I'm going to give it a shot today. Just poked myself in the eye with the wand. That's pleasant. Right, now that my eyes are looking cute, I'm going to put on a Beauty Bakerie lip. I love the Beauty Bakerie lip whips. They last through everything. They are pizza proof, they are food proof, coffee proof, apocalypse proof, everything proof, except oil-based removers. That's how you remove them. Otherwise, you're stuck with it. So I'm gonna prime first with my ColourPop Lippie Sticks. Y'all, I really need some good exfoliation on both my face and my lips. Now, which Beauty Bakerie shade should I choose from? The only one of my previously owned shades that I have not used yet is Ginger Snap. Otherwise, I now have I Like to Chai, Honey, and Berry Pop. I think I want to do a lighter nude, so I'm going to go with Honey. Cutest nude shade ever. I love this. Alright, here we go. My face is done for the day. Now I'm going to go hang out with my parents for a little bit for Father's Day. And I will be back. I will check in to see how this lasted throughout the few hours that I'll be gone. And I'll see you then. Okay, so it has been about 8 hours, I want to say. One thing that I left out of the first part of this video is that I set my makeup using my Skindinavia Bridal setting spray. So I did not forget to set my makeup. I just did that after the fact, after I turned off my camera. My face didn't really get any better. It didn't get any worse though. I do have some settling into my smile lines a little bit, but it's mostly just the clinging to my flakiness that's the biggest issue. So I think maybe it is also like wildly the wrong color. I don't even think I could tan to this shade. Well, it's different in different lighting. In natural lighting, I looked really orange. Like I went over to my parents' house today and one of the first things my mom said to me was, "Your face looks really orange." I'm like, yeah, I know. So at least she's honest. But can we talk about this lippie? Okay, so my lips are really like dry and flaky too. So there's no lippie there's no matte liquid lipstick that's gonna conquer dry, flaky lips. It's just not realistic to expect that out of a matte liquid lips. But, like, can you see how it's almost all still there? The only parts that are missing are probably because I bite the flaking skin off my lips. But otherwise, like, I had pizza for dinner, and pizza and salad with like oily dressing. And it lasted through that. I wasn't kidding when I said it was pizza proof. It really is. So these lippies are a hell yeah, and this foundation, I can't do it. I mean, I'm gonna have to return it anyways because it was the wrong shade, but I think I'm gonna try it again with an oil first to see if I should exchange it or just return, because I do really love this brand and I really love to support this brand. I just don't, my skin just does not agree with this foundation. I have seen so many people online who love it though. So don't let my review deter you from trying it. I would suggest, my skin is very finicky with foundations. It doesn't agree with a lot. I have tried so many foundations that just ended up looking real nasty on my skin, like a lot worse than this. This just is looking kind of cakey with my dryness. So if I add oil to it, I'm sure it'll look better, and I'm gonna try that and I'll probably film trying that and add it to my video. Unfortunately, at the moment, this foundation is a no. I may change my mind with introducing oil to it, because they do suggest using their Wake and Bake oil with this foundation. I don't have the Wake and Bake oil. I'm not gonna order it right now, but I will try it with another oil that I have. Oh, you brought me 2 toys. Okay, so it's a new day. I have a fresh face. I'm going to try the Cake Mix foundation again. This time I'm going to prime half my face with oil and half my face with regular primer. And on the half that I prime with oil, I'm just going to put the foundation on over the oil. But then on the half that I prime with just regular primer, I'm going to mix in the oil with the foundation when I apply it and see if that helps. Because this was just very cakey on me yesterday when I filmed. And it was also very much the wrong color. So I might actually, I'm going to add some of my LA Girl Pro Color mixing pigment in, see if cooling it down helps with the color. So, alright. The oil that I'm using is this Kopari Save Face oil. It's not a very slick oil. It's not very oily of an oil. So I don't know how well this will work. Just the only other oil that I have is my Juno oil by Sunday Riley, and I'm almost out of that, and that's expensive. And I'm not buying that again. So I'm gonna do this half of my face primed with oil. And I exfoliated last night too, so that might help with the flakiness on my face. Okay, so I have that side of my face pretty well oiled down. Now this on the other half of my face. Okay, gotta let my primer sit for a minute. I'm not a huge fan of this pump either. It's like it sticks, and then once you get past the sticking point, it shoots a lot out. And it actually just shot some across my room. So it's hard to get, if you just need a tiny bit, you can't. So there's one layer with just oil as a primer and then foundation on top on the one half of my face. Now I'm going to do the other half of my face by mixing some oil in with... I put 3 drops. I don't know how much oil you're supposed to put in. Yeah, this still isn't working for me. On this half of my face where I primed with regular primer and then mixed in oil, it's still looking kind of powdery on my face, so that might be just it interacting with the primer. But then this side that I primed with oil, it's smoother except on my forehead and then in the crease of my nose. On my forehead, it kind of like skips over on places and just doesn't lay down. So this foundation is all over, just a no for my skin. I believe it's a good foundation for a lot of people. However, it just does not work for me, and I'm gonna have to return this, which makes me very sad because I was so excited for this foundation, and I really hate to be posting a negative review on a brand that I love so much. So, unfortunately, this did not work for me, and it feels like a drier formula. So if you have dry skin, I feel like this probably wouldn't work for most people with dry skin. So, I'm sorry, Beauty Bakerie, foundation's a no for me. But if you want to see a video on a foundation that I did like, click up here to watch that one, and then click here to subscribe before you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, my loves.